I feel like this has the potential to be a chaotic episode, but I am so here for it. Okay, like this is gonna be iconic in so many ways. So we're having our annual holidays episode, okay? And I love this. This is one of my favorite episodes we do every year. Also, I love how much you guys love it. It's so fun. So we're talking about the usual thing. We're talking about gift guides. We're talking about all the feels that we're doing for the holidays. I'm also going to talk a little bit about some hosting fun ideas, but I also want to get into a little bit about boundaries for the holidays, okay? Because, there is nothing like bringing out some family craziness than the holidays, okay? And it's a lot. And I love all the movies that make fun of it because it's iconic. But there's so much truth behind it, and that's why the movies are so funny, because you're like, oh my gosh, yeah. And my favorite, well, I'm not going to say my favorite. One of my favorite Christmas movies is The Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, and that movie is so freaking funny. And they like have to bounce around between the four Christmases because both their parents are divorced, and it's chaos at its finest. And I love that movie with all my heart. But we're going to talk a little bit about that too and what that looks like. So without further ado, get your Christmas self ready because it's all about the holidays. Let me tell you what I wish I was drinking. Okay, I wish I was drinking the Starbucks chai gingerbread latte right now. That thing has a chokehold on me, okay? The way my husband goes feral for the pumpkin cream cold brew, I am an absolute sucker for this new gingerbread chai. So good. I have ordered it iced 3 times and I've gotten it hot all 3 times. I don't know what it is about the people making the drinks, all different Starbucks, but they've always handed it to me hot, even though it's like definitely advertised as an iced drink and I've ordered it iced, but that's okay because I'm actually obsessed with it hot and I just feel like it adds to the magic. So anyways, if you're looking for a fun drink to try, besides going to your local coffee shops and trying all of their amazing flavors, because they always get so creative with it and it's so fun, that's a good one. That's a good one to try. Okay. So that's going to kick us off into the holiday feels, everybody. Oh my gosh, I am just so ready. I hope your tree is up. And if it's not, I hope you're putting it up while you're listening to this because it is tree time. We bought a new Christmas tree and it was the viral one from Home Depot. So it looks literally like a real tree. And then we got these little sticks in it. I love how I'm so non-toxic and then we did this. We got these little sticks that we put in the tree and it makes it smell like a real tree. So we're just living our best lives. The lighting is so perfect. It's not a colored tree at all. It's literally just like the soft white lights. So stunning. We put ribbon on it. We haven't done our ornaments yet because we really don't have that many ornaments, which is fine by me. I'm not a huge ornament person. But we're probably gonna have to go out and buy some. So that's okay. So the tree is up. We're gonna hang a wreath. Like we're living our best lives over here. Our house definitely doesn't look very decorated right now, because when you move into a house, you realize that all of your Christmas decorations that filled your apartment and made your apartment look like it was so Christmassy, they just don't feel the same in a house because your house is a little more spread out. So that's okay. So we're going to probably have to go get some more decor at some point. I'm very excited because we are hosting Christmas at our house. And this has been a dream of mine for forever, which is probably why I want to talk about some hosting tips in this episode, because we are hosting and I'm so ready. Everyone's coming in, I think like on Christmas Eve-ish. And we're just going to have a whole freaking party at our house and it's going to be magical. I have plans and visions and dreams for all of this. And it's literally going to be so iconic. And yeah, so let's talk about some of our holiday feels. Then we'll get into hosting tips and we'll talk a little bit about boundaries. And this is just going to be so much fun. So first of all, the feels. I am obsessed with pine cones right now. Can someone please explain why? I don't know. I don't know why I'm obsessed with pine cones. I love them so much. We added pine cones to these little bowls. So I got these like bowls and I filled them with ornaments and pine cones. So cute. So cute. And I'm obsessed with them in like garland, and our wreath has pine cones in it. I really wanted to add pine cones to the tree, but Matt told me no. I don't know why, but he told me no. But I just feel like they feel like winter and a classy Christmas. And let me tell you, I am really, really aiming for a classy Christmas. I'm thinking elegant, chic, gorgeous, stunning, all the things. I'm not really here for like the kidsy Christmas. Like I'm sure at some point when we have kids in the home, we'll be like, oh, it'd be so fun, Santa Claus and like elves and red and green stripes. You know what I mean? Whatever. But no, right now I'm embracing my classy side and everything is just going to be like elevated. So there's an episode of The Office where Michael Scott is like dressed as like a really fancy Santa, and he's like, my name's Santa, Santa Bond. And it's like, that's the vibes we're going for. And Matt and I always joke. This is like our running joke, probably for the rest of our lives, is that in the movie Christmas Vacation with the Chevy Chase family, and if you haven't seen this, I'm sorry, what? You need to go watch Christmas Vacation. Anyways, like everyone's like obsessed with like Chevy Chase's family and stuff like that. And Matt and I have really come to terms with the fact that we are not that family. We are the neighbors. We are the people who live next door with their high-tech house and the constant annoyance at the family next to them. And they're like, oh my gosh, get away from us. We're just trying to live our freaking lives over here in their all black outfits and their fancy cars and their glasses and stuff. So we always joke that we know we're not the Chevy Chase family. Like we know, like what is their name in the movie? I can't remember. All I can think of is Clark. Whatever. We're not that family. We're the neighbors that live next door. And that's just like we're embracing it. So we're embracing our super classy Christmas. And I love it. I love that for us. It feels so elevated and chic. And so since we're hosting, it's just going to be a really fun time. We have big visions. So let me tell you, we are going to the zoo to look at Christmas lights. I think that's going to be absolutely magical. I can just picture myself, my cute trench coat, walking around with a hot chocolate, looking at all of the lights and the animals. And it sounds so fun. So we're going to go to the zoo, and look at Christmas lights, which is magical. And I also really want to do ice skating. I haven't ice skated in, oh gosh, probably like a couple of years now. And it's just always so fun. I used to ice skate when I was little. I took lessons and I can't do any of the things I used to be able to do, but it's still so fun to do. And I really want to embrace that side. And I don't know. I just feel like it's hard living in Texas during Christmas though, because like, dude, the leaves are still green. Like we haven't even hit fall here. And it's just so stinking hard. The temperature is dropping. Like it's in the 60s now, so that's at least pleasant, but it's just hard. So anyways, let's talk about sleep under the Christmas tree. This is always like a viral thing whenever I post about it, and I love that for me and for everyone who's going to embrace sleep under the Christmas tree. So this started with my grandpa. And what they would do is sleep under the Christmas tree was usually like a week or two before Christmas, and everybody gets to pick out whatever food they want, okay? Whatever food they want from anywhere. So let me break this down. Last year, I got sushi from my favorite sushi restaurant, and then we drove and got fries and shakes from Steak and Shake. Matt wanted wings. No, I'm sorry. He wanted cheese curds from Buffalo Wild Wings. And then he wanted a burger from In-N-Out. So like you go and get, like you piecemeal your meal. You're listening to Christmas music in the car. You're living your best life and you go pick up everybody's meals, which is so chaotic, but it's so fun because it's like so random. And then you come home, you eat the food while watching Christmas movies. You get an early Christmas gift and then you're supposed to sleep out in the living room. But I mean, I don't do that. I go to bed. And then the next morning you wake up and you eat donuts. So basically you just eat a lot of really bad food. But you have so much fun with it. And like, it's just such a sweet time. And I remember like loving that so much as a child. So like Matt and I carry on that tradition. We do an early small Christmas gift for each other. And it's so fun to go around and like pick up all the food. A Portillo's is being built right next to us, which is my favorite restaurant in Chicago. And now we have one here in Texas, and I'm just living my best life because I'm like, okay, hopefully it'll be done in time for Sleep Under the Christmas Tree. And this is just such a sweet little tradition, and I love it so much. I just love it. Another tradition we have is that, so I'm extremely Polish, like my family is. So we would make, like we'd all get together and make these things called pierogies. And they are like, I don't know, think like ravioli, but not. It's ravioli vibes. And we like hand make them and stuff. And we did that last year. I don't think we're going to do it this year because I'm hosting and we'll talk about this when we get to the boundary section. There are some traditions where it's like that was sweet, but maybe doesn't like serve in our home right now. Um, because it doesn't spark as much joy. But last year we also started the tradition of on Christmas Day because okay, like you wake up, you open gifts, and then it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing the rest of the day? So we started like playing minute to win it games. Okay, so like these are like the cheesy games where like you have a straw and you have to like suck up as many M&Ms and like move them into a different pile as you can. Whoever goes like wins. I don't know. Whoever like does it first wins or something, and you have like a minute. So like there are a bunch of like timed games and you only have a minute to do it, and then like there's prizes. So we're going to be doing that. We did it for the first time last year. It was so like fun and interesting. And since Matt and I are hosting this year, we're like, okay, we have to play the minute to win it game. So we're going to come up with a bunch of minute to win it games and literally like go crazy. We're going to go get some prizes. It's going to be so fun. And I just feel like that's such a fun thing to do. Like after the gifts have been open, you're just kind of sitting around, like chilling out, whatever. It's just so stinking fun to do all the minute to win it games. So I'm excited about it. And then I feel like that's pretty much it. We both have work parties for Christmas, and I'm not sure I'm gonna get to go. So my work is in Missouri, so I'm not sure I'm gonna get to go to Missouri, but we'll see if I can make it. And then Matt has like the fancy, like a fancy like gala thing and a Christmas auction. And so he's going to get to go to both those things. And it's just going to be a really sweet month. I'm really excited because I'm already planning out 2024 too. So I got my new planner already and I'm just so ready to see like what that's going to look like. So that's super fun, but yeah, it's just going to be a really sweet time. So now let's jump into hosting. Okay, like I said, I'm hosting Christmas. I'm not hosting Thanksgiving. Honestly, I don't love Thanksgiving. I love the idea of Thanksgiving. I kind of hate the food. I hate turkey. I really am not someone who loves like meat like that. I don't know. You guys know my feelings on meat. I really don't love like cooked casseroles, like ever. I'm really there for the mac and cheese and the bread. That pretty much sums up my Thanksgiving life. So Matt and I decided that when it is our turn to host Thanksgivings, whatever that looks like in the future, we will not be having Thanksgiving food. We will be having themes. Okay. So, like let's say one theme is going to be pastas, one theme is going to be Mexican. One theme is going to be maybe even a barbecue, like just something that isn't like the traditional like Thanksgiving meal. We just neither of us like it, so we're like, why do we force ourselves to do this? This is crazy. Matt just goes for the pie. Like literally, that's all Matt wants is the pie. So we have fun with it though. So we're not doing that this year. We're gonna be at my in-laws for Thanksgiving, so that'll be fun. But anyways, so I am looking forward to hosting my very first Christmas. So we have like weekly Bible studies here, and like I've had a couple little like parties and stuff like that at our house. So we've hosted before, but this just feels like it's going to be magic. Okay. I have a record player, and the only records that I own are Christmas music. So we will be having the record player going with music, and it's literally going to be magical. I like already know. Um, I have really gotten into potpourri. Potpourri is where you like make a simmer pot and you like put ingredients, you like boil water, put ingredients, and then you like have it simmer on the stove. So instead of like candles or anything like that, I have been all over Pinterest trying to find really good like Christmassy potpourri recipes. So it's usually like gonna be like a cinnamon with like apple and and like vanilla extract and stuff like that. It's just going to be so fun. So I'm making potpourri. I already know that. Really, really into charcuterie boards lately. Okay. So when we moved into our home, so many people got us like these stunning charcuterie boards. So I actually have several now. And so I'm going to make different like themed ones. And I'm going to have like your traditional one. I'm going to have like maybe like a chocolate themed one, like a cookie themed one. Like it's just going to be magical. So we're really going to lean into the charcuterie boards. I feel like it's just like a hosting staple, and I have to go through that season of my life before I can move on. Okay. Also really going to be into mocktails. Okay. I have found so many fun recipes on Pinterest for like these peppermint ones, for like these cranberry ones, like just all of these super, super fun mocktails. And I just think that this is the season for the mocktail. Okay. I I don't know. I'm really leaning into it. It just seems more fun. I think that eggnog is maybe the grossest thing in the world. Which is funny, because Chobani just came out with their Christmas eggnog creamer and I did buy it to try it. I haven't tried it yet, but I was like, it's Chobani, it's Christmas. Maybe this will taste better than eggnog. I think eggnog is so disgusting. Like, I don't, my brother could drink like a gallon of eggnog in one sitting. And it's so gross. So I might have some eggnog in our house to satisfy the people, but let me tell you, it will be not something I'm doing happily. What I will be doing for the beverages though is creating a hot chocolate bar, hot cocoa bar. I have seen these and become so freaking inspired. So you put it in a crock pot. Okay. This is insane. This is insane. You put it in a crock pot and then you have all these little, like, again, like the charcuterie vibes of like little peppermints, little marshmallows, little sprinkles, little hot chocolate bombs, little spoons, and like all these things spread out. And it is magical. And I'm going to put little twinkle lights in between there with some like garland, like tree branches. And you know, I'm going to add some pine cones because those are magical. And we're going to build out this hot chocolate bar. And I am so stinking ready. Like, can I just have that going for like an entire week, please? Like, how fun? How fun is a hot chocolate bar? So that's happening in my little hosting era. And I also was able to get these. A company was so sweet. They're like, oh my gosh, Belle, you're in your hosting era. Let me help you host Christmas. So they sent over all of these like super, super fancy disposable dishes. Okay, so it's like paper plates. But when I say paper plates, like I know what you're thinking. It's not that. Like they're like gold and thick and they look like nutcrackers again because we have a very like chic Christmas going on. I didn't want like, elf faces. So they're like these like chic golden nutcrackers and like these napkins that are themed and all of these like utensils like forks, knives and spoons that are golden and stuff like that and like really high end. And then like you throw it away afterwards because they're biodegradable, disposable. So I was like, "Oh my freaking gosh. Like how cute." So we have that going on. I'm just so ready for this. I'm so stinking ready for this. We haven't really decorated outside too much because we are waiting until after Christmas sales to go out and buy Christmas lights for next year. That's what we decided. But all of the houses around us, like all of our neighbors, I'm not even kidding, have these people come out and professionally decorate their house. So like these professionals come out and like hang the lights all over their house, they hang the wreaths, they do all the things. And so I was like, Matt, like if everyone's doing it, like we should do it. And he was like, oh yeah, let's do it. We looked up, it was $500. $500 for these people to come out and decorate our house. And like, listen, their time is valuable. Like clearly they are doing well for themselves. But I was in shock, I tell you. I was like, yeah, okay, never mind. So our house looks a little barren right now. We have a little wreath on our door. We're gonna hang another wreath above our garage, but that's all we got right now because it's literally insane to me. So, don't be expecting a beautiful exterior, but there will be a beautiful interior when it comes to the holidays, okay? So that's what I've got for you. I do want to get a little bit into boundaries because I know for some of us, oh, the holidays are so hard. With family that you don't usually see or interact with conversations that are really tough to navigate and to have to hear over and over again. And these can be anything. I mean, religion, politics are just some of them, but then you get into the personal topics of, weight gain, of people or weight loss, of relationship statuses, of overall just personal digs that can come from people all around. And I just wanted to encourage you that boundaries are so healthy and so okay. And, you can build a wall not to isolate yourself, but to protect yourself. And as much as holidays are a time to really lean into family, don't be afraid to like literally sit there and say, you know what, I would love if we could change this topic, please. Like, if you're uncomfortable, don't be afraid to not make the other person uncomfortable. Okay. And this is something that I have never really thought of. And I'll be honest, I haven't really had to deal with this. I've never really had to deal with a family gathering where it was so emotionally taxing and hard on me. But I have had so many friends that have told me stories and explained things, and like, my heart breaks. And so I really like love this idea of like, if you're uncomfortable, don't be afraid to make the other person uncomfortable. So like, let's say Aunt J is coming at you about your relationship status, and like, either you had a divorce or a breakup, or maybe you're single and you're just living your best life, and she doesn't understand that. And don't be afraid to look at her and say, you know what? I would really prefer if we could change this topic and not discuss this right now. Like, having that courage, that boldness to stand up for yourself is so incredible. Something I'm working on, and just it's good. I also want to talk about boundaries with gifts. I feel like it's easy to get wrapped up in this thing where you're like, okay, I have to give every single coworker a gift. I have to give every single neighbor a gift. I have to give every single person I've ever walked past on the street a gift. And it gets a little out of control. So, feel free to make some goodies, some baked goods, wrap them up and have those ready to go as gifts. But, set some boundaries on who is going to be giving gifts, who's going to be getting gifts, all of those things. Set boundaries for your time, as far as, there might be Christmas parties that you have to go to, but that doesn't mean that you have to be there for 6 hours. You know what I mean? Really learn to set your boundaries, lean into that. And then, like I was talking about earlier, figure out what's a tradition versus an obligation. So we all have these family traditions that we've done our entire lives. And if they're no longer serving you or sparking joy or whatever, it's okay to sometimes let traditions go, or to change traditions to be something you actually enjoy. Just because it's the holidays does not mean that we have to fill our time with things that we don't want to do because that's what we've always done. I'm just going to say it. Like, that's the truth. And so, setting boundaries for yourself, and do this before you get into the situation, okay? So before you get to Thanksgiving, before you head off for the holiday party, before you get to Christmas Eve, whatever you're doing, like, really think about what boundary you need in place for your safety, your protection, for the protection of people around you, for your significant other, for your friend. Like, think about this, talk about this. What topics are off limits? What are something that you're not willing to discuss? And especially if you have a significant other, this can be really important. So like, if you're going through something in your life and you're keeping it private, and then the next thing you know, your significant other, your partner, is sitting there discussing it with their family at the table, that is so uncomfortable. That is so uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, you know how many times Matt and I have gone through this? Is like, I'll be like, okay, we're like not going to discuss this. Like, this is something between the two of us, but I don't voice that to him. And he's thinking, oh wow, we should get some advice on this, or vice versa. And we end up discussing things that we really are not in a place to discuss, because we as a couple have not determined what that looks like. Or, if you're going to spend time with friends, like, not like get your story straight, but like, there are probably things that make your friend uncomfortable around their family, or vice versa, that you don't need to be discussing. So even having that conversation beforehand of like, hey, are there any topics that are just really hard to discuss, or any triggering things? Like, if you're going home and your family doesn't agree with your religious affiliation, maybe Thanksgiving is not the time to talk about it. Maybe that's not the time to get into the discussion of Democrat versus Republican, or, the Green Party. Like, it is not the time or place, and it's okay to set those boundaries and predetermine what conversations are off limits and what conversations you are willing to talk about. I love that so much. And yeah. So I don't know, guys, this is going to be a sweet holiday season. I am gearing up for New Year's, my favorite day of the year already. So we're going to be talking a lot about that in December, of just like setting vision for your new year, how to be consistent with your habits, all those things. It's going to be a really good time. And I'm just so grateful for you. This holiday season makes me mushy gushy inside. And I just want to be like, I freaking love you, bro. You're amazing. If you want to come to Texas, just let me know, because we're hosting. So it'll be so fun. I love you like crazy, and I hope you have the best holiday season.